All right, well, we're back to discuss Nocturnal Animals, and if you saw our review, we all enjoyed it. It's got that very uncomfortable sequence on the road. That
opening credits
that
is
was
even uncomfortable.
That was well. Oh yeah, that was bizarre. I forgot about that.
Like everything about the first half
and
was just.
That's the thing about like
the road thing you saw coming 100 miles away. You knew what was going to happen. It was so awkward the way it all led up to that. That was really well done. Even though I hated watching it, it was really well made.
But yeah, and that you're right. The opening credits set this tone and this precedent, and the reason why the rest of the movie works so well from a suspense perspective and from an uncomfortable perspective is that the opening of the movie establishes you don't know what to expect.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is not how movies start.
You know, the movie with the story within a story would have been fine on its own, frankly. But it would have been, like you said, it was a little bit predictable. What kept it from being predictable, though, was we weren't just watching that second story. You were watching it through her eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that was where the unpredictability they kept cutting it just the right spots to, like, jerk you out of that situation and make you think about what you're watching and what she's seeing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so good.
Yeah, there were also a couple of moments where a scene would start and it wouldn't be clear if it was part of the story or a flashback or what. Yeah. You know, a scene would just start with once Jake Gyllenhaal shaves in the story, it takes a minute to get your bearings as to where you are when a scene starts. Yeah. And that was always an interesting thing as well. And so, like, anytime, because now we're talking spoilers, and we can, you know, we know that at the end they don't reconnect in person. So all of the conversations that she has with him, that those two characters have in the movie, are flashbacks. Yeah. And anytime you see her, you know, they're doing stuff to make her look younger, which is really, like, if you just put the two side by side with the audio off, like if you weren't watching the movie, it would be hard to tell, like, what the difference was between, you know, she wears a lot heavier makeup and stuff, I guess, when she's in the present of the movie. But
that ending, though.
Yes.
That was revenge. He's already said everything he's going to say through the book, and he never does meet her. And she, like, because she left him abruptly and aborted their kid. And so he finds his justice, his revenge through overcoming all the complaints about her cynicism. He's on the cusp of becoming a successful writer, and she's now married to someone that she cheated on him with and who's not so successful. She made all the right cynical choices, and it ended up being unhappy for her, and she should have maybe believed in him. And so he kind of served that up on a plate. Yeah, and I pointed out... It's just really interesting at the end. Absolutely, and I pointed out earlier when we were talking about it that that scene with Jenna Malone was basically, this character doesn't see revenge coming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, revenge is right there, and it's been there right there the whole time. That was clever, yeah. But she just doesn't notice it.
So there were two shots at the end that I thought were interesting. And they were both kind of in the last 5 minutes of the movie. So she gets herself all dolled up to go meet him, but they take a moment to make her she wipes off her lipstick, which I kind of felt like, okay, I'm going to try to be more like what he would expect me to be from what he knew from me before. And then at the very end of the movie, they do this close-up of her eye, and she doesn't cry. Mm-hmm. So to me, I was like trying to like figure out like what are they trying to say exactly, like, she wants to be less like her mother, but she actually really ended up being like her mother, and that was the revenge, or, you know, did you guys get that, or what did you guys think about that?
I think the mother parallel thing wasn't really so much the point or the resolution. I think it was more of a direction for her arc, not necessarily a end point to the arc. I felt like the ending was more what they were showing there, you know, with her getting dressed up. I had a feeling from when she picked out what she was going to wear that he was going to either reject her or not show up. Yeah. Because
we never do see him in the present time, do we?
No, we don't.
It's all memories and through the book.
We don't. Yeah. And it's there's this interesting. So you're talking about she doesn't cry, she doesn't do all that kind of thing. She also sits there for. I mean, they really make the passage of time felt.
Like the whole service.
And she's been there for she's had 2 massive drinks and
She had more than that.
what.
In fact, they showed one where she almost pretty much practically finishes off her drink, and then the very next shot, she's got almost a brand new drink there.
Right.
So I mean, she really had like 8 or 9 drinks sitting there.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I thought that for him to leave things with with where his character was at in the book was the ideal place to leave it for him. And I think that's what her sitting there alone leaves her to think. Like, all she can do is sit there and ruminate about the book, and she has no way to reflect it back. She has no way to talk through it with anybody else. She's stuck with it. It's all in her head now. And that's the true
That's
revenge.
Yeah.
Like, if he had showed up and, not quite been as powerful as the book was, it would have diminished from it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of that was my angle.
No,
on
it's
it.
a fair take on it, because I think I was trying to figure out what the lack of the tear actually stood for, and I think that's pretty astute. So yeah.
Like, and she's she's had this insomnia problem, so she's not really reacting to things well or thinking things through, and I think that's why, like, them establishing the almost, I mean, I guess it is the literal sneaking up of revenge scene. Like, they keep making a point of telling us that she's not sleeping, she's acting weird, and so it's not that he tricks her because he's a master magician. It's that she doesn't see it coming because her defenses are just wiped out.
Yeah.
Between the book and worrying about what's going on with her husband and her present state and all of that. So
Interesting.
it was cool. I was really happy that it didn't have a less ambiguous ending. I felt like if they had gone with a less ambiguous ending, it would have felt like Tom Ford had 2 ideas and he figured out a way to make
that would have been
make
a
them
different
into
movie.
one movie.
Yeah.
And I was also really happy that they never. There's the scene where she says that someone used to call her a nocturnal animal, but they never.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
But they never, like. They never. There's never a scene where someone says, "Well, you know what they call a nocturnal animal." And I kept waiting for that scene to happen too, and I was really glad it never came.
Unnecessary exposition.
Just an unnecessary, like, on the nose, here's what nocturnal animal means. So.
All right. Kudos to all the acting.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon, we haven't talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, he was awesome.
He really nailed it,
Yep.
as he usually does.
Yeah.
Everybody in it was really good.
Yeah, there's really no complaints there.
Yeah.
Performances were great.
I'm sure there's people that, like, wonder what happened to him. I assume that he died. That he just died of cancer
Yeah, it was weird that he didn't show up the next morning.
in the intervening period.
That's the only thing you can't assume. I mean, he was
screwed.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he was doing what he was doing. But
Yeah.
Nocturnal Animals. Hope you liked it. If you like the way we do these reviews, please like the video, subscribe to us, and check us out on all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com. Thanks for watching.